Scruffy buddy, 85 to the RGT. Class first craze.
Wow.
So get this shit.
Shh, we're live. What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Class vs. Crass Gaming Podcast on this wonderful Sunday evening. I'm your host, Hey Jay, as usual. Joining me, the one who would rather play games than talk to me.
I do talk to you. I'm good at multitasking.
What were you saying?
I'm good at multitasking.
No, before we started the show.
Oh, so like, I got this Sega CDX probably 2 years ago. I bought it off a friend of mine who was just getting rid of some of his consoles, and it never worked with my 32X. And so for the longest time, I thought that you could not use a 32X with the Sega CDX. And then, like, people swear that it works, and some people say it doesn't. So I just tried it the other night, and it works great. So now I have everything all in one unit.
Wonderful.
It makes me very happy.
See, you got your buddy Hogan again with you? Remember when you used to do skits with him?
Yeah. I'll do skits again one day.
I hear you. Sometimes I get ideas to do skits. I'm like, it's not worth the work yet.
It just depends. It's got to be organic.
Yeah.
You don't want to force it.
Absolutely. Hey, Inner Black Ninja. I see you haven't been here in a while. Haven't been here live in some time. What's up? How's it going? Tonight's going to be a pretty casual night. Got the beers out. Got a lot of things. Do I have the beers? I have the beers out. Oh, man. I got the best snack combo tonight. So I got beers and pistachios. Try to beat that.
I ate Chipotle like an hour ago, and
you're gonna be shit in an hour.
I got the tacos this time
versus
the burrito. They're good, but man, they mess up your stomach for sure.
Like, what ingredient is in the burrito that's not in the taco that's gonna save you here?
Well, I got 2 chicken and 2 steak, so I thought, I don't know, maybe one would be better.
And what was your burrito? If it was pork, then we're fine.
No, I didn't get a burrito. Hell no, I can't.
But the last time though.
Oh, chicken.
Oh, okay.
So about that, GG, we'll be talking about it in the book. But they were actually going. The weird thing about the 32X is that, of course, it came with 2 different things. It came with the stupid little metal things, and the metal things were used for like RF shielding, and like they weren't even necessary, so you did not need those metal things. And then if you had a Genesis Model 2, it came with a spacer that you would put in. They actually were going to make a spacer for the 32X itself to work with the Sega CDX, but they never came out with it. But if you just plug it in without a spacer, like, it's fine. The power is fucking weird, because like I can unplug the Genesis and just have the CDX and just have the 32X plugged in, and it'll still work. So I don't really know how that all works. Maybe I'll ask one of my techie friends. But yeah, it works, and it works good. And I got my HD Retrovision cables set up with it. It's a very nice combination.
Well, the Sega Trio is really a marvel of engineering, of hardware for gaming specifically.
Yeah.
It would have been interesting to see if the whole console thing would have taken off as more of a modular thing, where just like a PC, you know, you don't always if you build your own PC, you don't have to upgrade everything all at once.
Right.
Sometimes you can upgrade just the CPU. Well, usually you upgrade the CPU, the motherboard, the RAM altogether. But you know, that was kind of the concept with the Genesis and the 32X. You have the base CPU, which is your Genesis, and then you beef it up with some 32X. I think your audio was a little low. Hang on, let me beef you up here.
It's an interesting concept that I think would potentially be more adapted in today's gaming world than it was during that time. Like it was almost too far ahead of its time, kind of, you know?
Like, imagine the Switch if you could just upgrade the dock and somehow get more GPU. Like, I'm completely fantasizing here. It's not possible.
Well, no, I mean that was something that people thought could potentially be a thing
before the Switch was revealed.
Well, no, even still to this day, I mean, theoretically, you could do something like that.
Okay. Anyways, this is a 1 hour podcast. For those of you who are not familiar with the Class vs. Crass Gaming podcast, we have a bit of a format. So usually we talk about what we've been playing. I hope you've been playing Yoshi. I did see you put up a review. I think Yoshi's worth talking about tonight.
No, for sure.
And it's been a pretty busy week in gaming. I don't know, Sean, if you watched the whole Apple conference thing or are aware of Apple Arcade.
I didn't watch any of that shit. And I got rid of my iPhone today, so now I have no. Well, I still have it, but I'm just gonna use it. Like,
and did you get rid of your MacBook? Because you had one of those for a while.
Yep, sold it.
Ah.
I can't deal with Apple stuff, man. Like fucking, I get this Android today. It costs me, it's like $15 a month or some shit. The Samsung Galaxy 10, which is like new or something. And then I downloaded the what the hell do they call it? Sega Forever. Sega Forever. And I downloaded Streets of Rage 2 and it's free. There's just ads. It's like, this is great. Why did I ever have a stupid ass iPhone?
It's for the person that doesn't, well, it's for the person that wants to make a fashion statement, that doesn't want to worry, that doesn't want to customize much of it, that just kind of likes what's in the box.
I haven't customized shit on this phone.
I got my first iPhone. This is the first time I got an iPhone, which is my latest phone. I got a very nice little Call of Duty back thing there. And I love it. But I also went from the Samsung, I think I was on the 5 for like 3-4 years. So any phone at this point would have gotten me excited. But the iPhone, I love it because it interacts well with my MacBook. And I can actually coordinate it with my iPad, which is what I use as a teleprompter. So on my phone, I can stay at my desk and actually like scroll and control the teleprompter because
you can do that with Google Drive, though.
Yeah, you're right. You can. So that's not really a big pro. What else do I like about it? I don't know. I just like the style of it. The apps. I mean, the apps I could get all on Android as well.
And there's more apps on Android. And like you can just download emulators and crap.
Yeah, but I wouldn't do that because I don't really play games on my phone.
I don't either, but this one has a really good battery life. Like I literally went in there. So here's what happened, people, because Jason feels like we're light on topics tonight, which we're not, but whatever.
I want to say hi to Tony, by the way. Hi, Tony.
So this morning I wake up at like 7.
Wow.
I check my phone. Yeah, my sleep schedule is good. Plus I got drunk last night.
At a 9-year-old's birthday party?
Yeah, dude, it was lit, man. There was a lot of shit for adults.
Did you kick their ass and smash?
Dude, I hardly even saw the kids. Like, he didn't even open it. Like, I was sitting in the living room and like I looked at my cousin. I was like, when the fuck is he gonna open the gifts? She was like, oh, he's not gonna open them tonight. I was like, his birthday was yesterday, and she was like, do you think he should open them? I was like, at fucking Christmas time, do we sit around and wait for the next day to open Christmas gifts? No, you idiot. Like, I don't know. It was bizarre. It was a fun time though. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, so I woke up at 7 in the morning. I checked my phone just to see what time it was, and it was like, okay, it's 7 in the morning. So I went back to sleep, and I woke up at like 8:30. And I go to check my phone, and it won't do anything. I'm like, pressing the power button. I'm sitting there. I'm like, fucking A. So I plug it in to the wall, get it a little charge, nothing. Plug it into my computer. Right? Yeah. Plug it into my computer, nothing. I'm like, well, fuck this. I'm tired of this phone anyways. So I look online and Sprint is down the street and they open at 11 a.m. I'm like, great. So 10:55, I'm sitting outside of Sprint and I just walk in there and lady's like, oh, how can I help you? And I'm like, I need a phone and a plan, please. She was like, okay. And she was like, well, what kind of phone do you want? I was like, I don't really know. She was like, well, what do you have now? I was like, I have an iPhone that won't turn on, and it's really pissing me off. And so she was like, okay, we'll get an Android. She was like, well, what do you want? This? Do you want this? Do you want this? I was like the first thing she said was Samsung Galaxy 10. And I was like, yeah, that sounds good. She was like, okay.
The thing I don't like about Galaxies is that they don't age well.
Like, what does that mean?
In a year, it's going to be so like sluggish, and the battery's going to die in 5 hours.
No, that's how my iPhone was. My iPhone battery would die in like 10 minutes.
Oh.
But anyways, I can get a new phone in a year anyways if I want one.
Okay.
So I get all this set up. I get my new phone, and she's like, "Well, do you want to transfer over your stuff?" I was like, "This fucking thing won't even turn on." And so I was sitting there showing her like it wouldn't turn on. She's like, "Oh, that's weird." She's like, "Well, you can go to the Apple store and get it repaired." I'm like, "No, I'm here. I'm getting a phone. We're doing this." I get the phone. I go to Wendy's. I come home. Literally walk in the house.
What does Wendy's have to do with the story?
Because Wendy's was right next door, and I wanted Wendy's.
Okay.
And I walk in the house. I go just to throw the phone across the room, and it turns on. The second I walked in the house, and I was like, "Fuck, you gotta be kidding me!" But it was good because I was able to get my numbers and stuff off there because I don't know anyone's phone number.
The thing with iPhones, you should be able to sell it because there's such a cult surrounding Apple products.
I don't care. I'm just gonna use it like on Wi-Fi around the house because I called my old carrier and got rid of their service. They were like, "Why did you have us? We're not even in that area." I was like, I don't know.
Interesting story. We're not that light on topics now that I think about it because
No,
yeah,
we're not.
We had the Apple thing, we had the Sony thing, we had the Xbox thing. They all sucked though. We had the Sega thing. That one I'm not as familiar with. I just know. So I'm gonna look to you to shed some light there. What else we got? We got Yoshi. That's enough. Anyways, so and we have PAX East where we got not Shovel Knight. Yacht Club Game announced that new Ninja game. We got Borderlands, which
Ninja Night.
I don't really care. It's not Ninja Night.
So they should call it.
Yeah, keep the night trend going. So let's start with Yoshi. What do you think of Yoshi?
It's surprisingly really good.
Better than Woolly World in your opinion?
I never played it.
How did you not play Woolly World?
It looked dumb.
Oh, that looked dumb, but Crafted World looks good, huh?
It looks better to me.
Really?
I think so.
Okay. I think Woolly World is way better than Crafted World.
Why?
I'm not enjoying it. Well, okay, that's a lie. I'm not enjoying it as much.
You have Sega's official account in your chat, idiot.
Hey, Sega of Europe. Someone did say Sega thing. Yes, we're gonna be talking about what you guys talked about. Thanks for putting me in the spotlight there. What was I talking about? Yoshi. So they definitely added padding. You have to revisit the levels more than once to collect like all these artifacts and stuff. And at first I thought it would have been like good because in Yoshi's Woolly World I actually enjoyed the levels. But I don't know, they just feel so uninspired. Like, yeah, okay, the craft is cool and stuff. But okay, I think what it really is it's the music. The music is just terrible.
I don't hate it. I like the whimsical when you're putting in the coins to get the whatchamacallit, the costumes. Like that song, it kind of reminds me of the Captain Toad song. Like it's that weird whistle sound effect and stuff. I like that.
It's a fun song. But
yeah, I mean, I can agree with you on the music. Like, I don't know. I don't really listen to the music all that much in that game just because you kind of got to focus a bit in order to get like the flowers and stuff. I think it's a very well done game.
It is.
Like it's better to me than Kirby was. It's better to me than New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe Special Edition Switch version.
Oh, for sure. I agree.
So, I mean, it's the first Nintendo release of 2019 for the Switch that I'm like, okay, like I said in my video, I don't regret buying this. Like, it's a good game.
See, that's where maybe I regret it a little bit. Like, it's a great game. Like 8 and above. But Woolly World was like a 9. Anyway, we got Sega of Europe in the chat. Let's talk about Sega.
Let's always talk about Sega.
Sega. Do I even have anything? My Sega's under our Milo. You can't see it, but it's back there.
My Sega's in my hand right now.
Is it?
Well, I'm actually using the.
Is that what
Scout.
You call it? You call it a Sega? Oh, it's an actual Sega.
I'm using the Scout controller. I'm cheating, but I like this controller. It's a nice controller.
Can you show me that controller again?
It's the Hyperkin Scout that comes with the Mega Retron HD, but I'm using actual hardware right now. But yeah, we had Sega FES 2019. We got some big announcements. The first presentation is like the big presentation, and we got a new Sakura Wars game, which honestly I've never played a Sakura Wars. They are releasing Judgment to the West, I think. I've never played a Sakura Wars, so you know, a lot of people seemed excited for it, and they actually did confirm that that was coming to the West, so that was pretty cool. They showed off some new games for the Switch, and PS4. Tokyo 2020, which is like a realistic style of Olympic Games, and then you have a new Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games 2020 that will be exclusively on the Switch. Both of those are coming to the Switch. The one is just coming to the PS4. And then
big story.
The big news. Sorry, the big news, of course, was the Sega Genesis Mini finally being revealed. M2 is doing the emulation on it, which means it's going to be awesome. And Castlevania Bloodlines is a freaking game on there. It's one of the first. There's 40 games on there.
Actually, let me pull up the games.
I know what they are.
I know you do, but it's nice to have a visual. Sega Mini.
If you go to like SegaGenesisMini.com or something like that, they got a nice little layout.
So isn't this like a continuation? Because there was an announcement last year of a Sega Mini.
So the Sega Mini last year was first announced at FES 2018, and they showed it off on stage, and then word got around that AT Games was involved in it, and then there was some backlash, of course.
That game
and then
ain't so good.
And then no, you know, I don't hate them inherently. Like, I think they're, like I said in the video, I think their Atari stuff, I think their Intellivision stuff is decent, but they just never got Sega stuff like down really good.
They don't have the secret sauce for the blast processing.
They don't. And so they delayed it and said, okay, well, it's going to come out in 2019. And then they showed it off at the event. And then it was revealed that M2, which has been handling some of the Sega Ages collections, like Sonic the Hedgehog, like it's all in-house. So that's what's going to make this like really good. Like, people are like, oh, you know, after the PlayStation Classic, you know, I'm a little worried. And I'm like, I mean, that's feasible because obviously that was done in-house as well. But I mean, M2, you didn't know who was doing any of the stuff with the PlayStation Classic. You know, M2 is doing it, so it's going to be legit.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying they're bringing this in-house. Is this like, I guess I could also ask Sega in here. Is this like Sega official hardware? Like, is it Sega developing the hardware here?
Yeah, and M2 is doing the emulation. Like, it's 100%. It's 100% Sega. Like, the branding of it, the box art says Sega right on it. So I mean, it's not basically, it's not outsourced like previous ones have been.
Okay, I'm having troubles finding a graphic. Didn't they release a graphic of all the games? I can only find a list.
Go to the website. I told you.
I'm looking for it, but it's not showing up in Google. Got to work on that SEO. What is it? Sega.com?
No, they have a special website. I'll find it real quick. They have a special website designed just for. Oh, look! It's the first thing that popped up.
What did you type in? Oh, Genesis.
I typed in Sega Genesis Mini.
No, this ain't it.
GenesisMini.sega.com.
Genesis. Oh, this is Genesis Classics. Yeah,
Genesis Classic, Genesis Mini. I mean,
no,
the first video I made on it, I called it Genesis Classic. Today's was Genesis Mini. You know, they're interchangeable. Like,
all right, I got it.
All right,
let's go.
See,
hopefully this computer lives up.
You can see how good it looks. Like, look at that. Right. That's beautiful.
It's got all the branding. It's got the official Sega Genesis seal of quality. The 3 button control pad. Comes with 2 wired ones. USB adapter, power cable. Look at that. It comes with a power cable. Guys, we are...
that is a big deal.
and
it's got the USB power adapter, so it has the brick as well.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah.
All right, so here are the first 10 games. Echo the Dolphin, which is a classic, wonderful game. I've never beaten Echo the Dolphin. Have you?
No.
Yeah. Castlevania Bloodlines, never played, so I'd be
so good, dude.
Is it?
So it's criminally underrated because you know, Super Castlevania, Super Castlevania 4, of course, came out on the SNES. Everyone went crazy for it. And Bloodlines came out like down the road. And Bloodlines never gets re-released on anything. Oh. And you always see Super Castlevania 4. You always see the original 3. You always see Symphony of the Night. You always see now you're starting to see Rondo of Blood a bit, but you never see Bloodlines. And Bloodlines is so good. Like, it's legit, no pun intended, but it's like one of the bloodiest Castlevanias. It is the bloodiest Castlevania of that era. Like, monsters, when you hit them, like, they just like fall apart and there's blood and goop. So it's a classic.
So my personal, like, Gunstar Heroes, I put in a ton of time in that when I was a kid. Gunstar Heroes is a favorite. Classic. Actually, I have it on my 3DS. But I'd be looking forward to playing Gunstar Heroes again on this. Echo the Dolphin, Castlevania Bloodlines, which I haven't played. And you know what? Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine is like the one Sonic game I always wanted to play as a kid, and it was the one game I could never play. And it's great. It's like it's this capsule of time that actually shows that, hey, this guy was called Dr. Robotnik at one point in time and not just Eggman.
I didn't even think of that. And it's a good puzzle game. Like, it's a pretty fun puzzle game.
Shining Force I've always been curious about because you make a lot of noise about it.
Because it's a great series.
Sonic the Hedgehog 1, I mean, I feel like we've all pretty much played that on 20 systems at this point. And Space Harrier is another one.
Yeah, Space Harrier 2 is a pretty decent port of Space Harrier. Not as good as the Space Harrier on the 32X. Hint, hint, wink, wink. But it is a good port. And then you have Toe Jam and Earl, which now I understand how to play that game because of the Back in the Groove. So I'm actually looking forward to playing that.
Comic Zone being a big deal too.
Comic Zone is dope, but it is so damn hard. That game is so hard. Like, it's crazy.
It actually had a bonus CD. Wow.
It had really good music as well.
So there you go. So we got 10. There's another 30 coming, unless Sega wants to drop a reveal bomb tonight. That'd be cool. Sega of Europe.
Altered Beast, wise from your grave.
So yeah, it's good. Tim says, I thought Bloodlines released on the Wii.
Did it release on the Wii Virtual Console? It might have, because the Wii Virtual Console was freaking amazing. I know they did. I know they did Rebirth, and I know they did Rondo, but I don't know.
Bloodlines. I'm just getting. They did. There you go.
Maybe. Wait.
But the Virtual Console's dead, so you can't play it anymore.
I don't think they did. Let me see.
Dreamcast guy in the chat. How you doing, Dreamcast guy?
I don't think they did, dude. Though I think the only thing that Bloodlines has been on officially was the cartridge. And that's an expensive game. Toe Jam and Earl's an expensive game too, so.
Right. No, it's actually, it looks like it's the proper way to do, you know, a proper Genesis Mini. I feel like all the other kind of Sega consoles, like the re-releases that came with collections of games, never really hit that nostalgia tone that I was looking at. Like, as someone who grew up with a Sega Genesis, all those other consoles never really did it for me. But this one is actually tapping into like the old Genesis marketing, the nostalgia. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Like, I am definitely looking forward to it.
And that's coming out September 19th, correct?
Yep, worldwide.
September 19th, worldwide. So we're going to keep our eyes on that as they release more games. Let's talk about Sony, because I haven't heard any of your thoughts on the whole state of play.
You didn't watch my video?
I did not. Do you watch all my videos?
No.
Yeah, that's right. State of play. I thought it sucked. I'm
so
like everybody.
bad.
Everybody thought it sucked, but like.
No, it's cool, Tim. I thought it would have released on the Virtual Console as well, but it hasn't. Contra Hardcore. I mean, look, if Bloodlines is on it, Bloodlines is Konami. Contra Hardcore could be another game that's on there, and that would be insane. That would be insane. But yeah, State of Play was crap, dude. Holy shit. And you know, some of it is because, you know, people manufacture a hype. That's fine. I get it.
There wasn't even that much hype around this one.
The problem is when you put yourself in a position, to create hype by doing something like this. We're saying we're doing a live event looking forward to upcoming PS4 and PlayStation VR games.
Right.
And so you create some sort of hype. The fact that they did not do a release date for any of the big games of 2019, if they were going to be at E3, whatever, I don't care. But they're not at E3, you know? So it's like, what the hell, you know? And then like Concrete Genie, Brett told me that Concrete Genie had been shown off before. I thought that was a new reveal. I don't care. I didn't know anything about it. That presentation put me onto that game. So at least it did something in that regard. It introduced me to a new game. And like Dreamcast guy said, the presentation was good, like fundamentally speaking. You know, it was nice. It was quick,
like a concept,
snappy.
sure, yeah.
You know, it was essentially a Nintendo Direct, but hey, you know, that's not a bad, you know, system to emulate. But there was nothing to it. I will say that Days Gone actually went up my radar a little bit with that.
I'm surprised they ended on Mortal Kombat 11. I was positive that they would have ended on either a surprise reveal or a Last of Us Part 2 thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a multi-plat. Like, yeah, it was hype because they talked about, you know, new characters and they showed off the old versus new, and I was like, hell yeah, can't wait to play this on my Nintendo Switch. Thanks,
yeah, right. The whole Iron Man thing got me excited, but like I could tell right from the beginning something was off, but I thought for a moment they were doing an Iron Man game like similar to what they did with Spider-Man, which is pretty much my dream Marvel game right now. And then they're like VR. I was like, why must you do VR?
That's how you knew that things were going to be rough with this presentation, in my opinion.
To launch with a VR?
Not to launch with a VR, but to launch with a tease like that. Like Iron Man, everyone's thinking, holy shit. And they're like, VR. And it's like, no, why are you doing this?
On the one hand, it's frustrating because they've got a user base of like almost 100 million PS4 users in comparison 2 to 3 million of PSVR users. And the majority of this state of play targeted the VR users, which on one hand, it's fair because they're investing in a market, you know, that they're trying to grow. But on the other hand, I feel like they're not catering to the crowd that, yeah, you could say they already have it, but like, what are their big games this year? Days Gone, Ghost of Tsushima, and Last of Us Part 2? Like, is that it?
Death Stranding.
Ugh. I keep trying to forget that game exists. I'm surprised we didn't see more walking in that state of play, honestly.
They didn't show any big games during state of play. Like, it was just very bare bones, and I feel like that's what the big problem was.
It was very safe.
They should have had. No, it was too safe. It was too safe for a company that's not going to be at E3,
and for a company that's supposed to be dominating the gaming landscape. Although I feel that's an out of date thing to say. They're not dominating anything these days.
I honestly feel like Sony tends to get complacent.
Oh yeah,
when they're on top. And they did it with the PS2, and it almost feels like they're doing it again, you know?
They are. Like, what I feel like they have nothing on hand. They have very little to instill confidence in the consumer that there's something coming. Like, if you don't care about zombies, Days Gone, Last of Us, who really cares? I mean, I don't care about it. Last year was exciting with the God of War and Spider-Man. I felt that those were, you know, focused on single player experiences and were diverse enough to kind of hit a wide enough audience. But I don't know. I'm tired of the whole like zombie horror thing, end of the world business.
I mean, and that's fair. Like, I don't know. I think that game has some sort of potential. Oh yeah, this is the Squad. But yeah, like it was just very boring.
Yeah. I think
snappy.
I think it's snappy, sure. Yeah. Okay, points for being snappy. I think we're going to see, you know, we've all been laughing at Xbox, rightfully so, over the last 5 years. I think within the next year, we're going to see like Xbox is sitting on dozens of studios ready.
Stop it.
No,
stop
what?
there.
You don't okay,
stop
they're sitting
it.
I'm not going to stop. I'm going to finish this. They're sitting on a dozen studios ready to pump out first-party games, and whatever else they're coming out with, but that doesn't matter.
They
We're
had
talking about the
Rare
games.
in their peak. They had Rare in their peak and couldn't do shit with it. Don't no, just stop.
Okay, you're gonna reference something from over 10 years ago.
Plus, yeah, because that's the last instance of
What the hell just
Microsoft
happened?
buying a big ass studio. And I'm sorry, but none of these studios they have bought were as impactful as Rare was at their peak, which is when Xbox bought them. Plus, furthermore, I don't think they give a shit about exclusive games. I don't think they care.
At this point, no. And that's great for us, because that means we get to all play it without buying Xbox hardware.
So what does it matter if they buy all these first party studios? It doesn't.
It means we're gonna see Microsoft pumping out some good games. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but I don't know.
They're not gonna be on PlayStation, I can tell you that.
Well, yeah, but
so we benefit and PlayStation loses. So when you compare Microsoft and PlayStation,
I own everything. I don't care.
Yeah, but we're not all as rich as you. You know, we don't all make the big YouTube dollars.
They're tax write-offs.
Oh shit! Good point. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
Need to do that this year. Shit, I gotta keep my receipts.
Yeah.
Sergeant Crack says, Jason, don't hype up Microsoft. They're not going to do anything but sling their services.
I mean, I just feel like that's what they're more interested in. I think they'll make games for sure, but
yeah.
I mean, Cuphead, all of a sudden it's on the Switch. You know, Halo, Master Chief Collection, it's on PC.
Yeah.
I think they're a lot more interested in Minecraft.
Dude, nobody talks about Minecraft anymore.
Doesn't matter. Minecraft's fucking huge. Microsoft could have easily just been like, okay, now Minecraft is only on the Xbox One. You want to play Minecraft, you got to get an Xbox One to play it if you want to play it on a console, and we're going to have all this exclusive content. And I feel like that would have been, it would have gotten backlash, but I feel like that would have been lucrative in the long run for them. But it would have been, you know, been detrimental. But you are right, Siggy.
Oh, Siggy's right, but not
there
Jason.
are a lot of people, especially with Madden. There are people who will buy an Xbox just to play Madden and Call of Duty because that was the big brand during the Xbox 360. I worked at GameStop when the Xbox 360 launched, and like that was the premier system. Like, you know, that's what people wanted. That's what people wanted to play Madden on because there was that gap, you know, from the original Xbox to the Xbox 360. And like, you know, we would play NBA 2K. We would do Madden tournaments in the store and stuff like that. And like, you know, it was always hype because it was this new thing. But it's like, you know, the games, Madden and shit is just kind of gone downhill.
You know, speaking of bad game developers, and I forgot, I want to bring this up while Sega was here. I don't know if they're still here. Apple's building up some studios, and Sega's partnering up with them. So have you seen, like, do I need to bring you up to speed? Do you know what's going on with Apple Arcade?
No.
You should really watch my news show. So basically, Apple is releasing a subscription service that you pay a monthly fee that you don't know what the price is right now. And you get access to their entire game catalog. Very much like Game Pass. Except, you don't know what the games are. And they play on Apple products that have no controllers. So it's going to be touchscreen screens. Apple partners. Let me see.
People are excited for this?
I have seen nobody that's been excited for it. In fact, I made it like my title for my news show and it bombed. So I'm going to think that nobody is even searching for this or cares about it. But it's fun to make fun of because I think the youngest person in that whole presentation was like, you know, maybe 40 or something.
It's because old white people buy Apple products.
It came across as very out of touch. And it was so out of touch, they weren't even aware. Like when the Google CEO stepped out for Stadia, he's like, I'm not a gamer. Like he was aware enough to know that he was out of touch. Apple was so far in the left field, they had no idea they were even out of touch. Apple Arcade partners. So They put up this big wall. You know, Nintendo does this too when they release new hardware, to showcase all the partners that they are working with to build exclusive. I'm trying to get this picture up here for you guys to look at. To build an exclusive library, very similar to what Microsoft is doing, except they're not buying them; they're just partnering with them. Some key names here. We've got Platinum Games on the list, which is interesting. You got Konami, you got Sega, Disney, Devolver Digital, Lego. What else we got in here that I recognize? WayForward, and actually WayForward is releasing
Shantae 5.
No, but they're exclusively to Apple Arcade. They're releasing something else called like Dinosaurs or something, and then they're also releasing WayForward Shantae 5.
Nobody likes exclusives.
Are you trying to mock me? Because I never said that.
No, gamers say it. Some gamers say that,
right.
Which is weird to me. I mean, it is what it is. It's going to be a small segment of the market. I can get, you know, that shit is already available on Apple phones and stuff, like all the games and stuff. They're available on the phones. Like, it's nothing new. And like, if you make something new, people aren't going to necessarily flock to it unless it is designed with mobile in mind. And by having a roster of those companies, they're not really companies that focus that much on, you know, mobile only stuff.
Right. It's going to be like, there's some decent pedigree developers in there and publishers. So I'm curious what they're going to bring, but I don't think this is a platform that really anyone in this room is really going to be really involved with it. Like, I'm definitely going to try it for a month to see what the offerings are, but
I can't because I don't have an Apple.
You have nothing Apple, eh?
Not anymore.
Yeah. Like, it's going to be such a segregated, secluded market. I just don't see it. Like, I when I think of an Apple user and an Apple fan, I do not think of a gamer. So
yeah, well, I mean, it's probably fair.
Right.
That's why you get an Android, so you can hack it and put emulators and crap on it.
Yeah, I've been there, done that. I'm over it. I'm really curious though what Platinum Game is going to be making. So Kat says, I recall Platinum making a mobile game with some other company. So there you go. Near Automata for Apple Arcade. Really doubt that. Really doubt it. Think like basic shoot 'em up, probably. Platinum shoot 'em up. I could.
You never know, but I mean, it's almost pointless to me.
Yeah.
There's too many people are getting involved in this cookie jar now. Google, Apple. It's like, it's not enough room.
That's because gaming is starting to become a buzzword, and now people are turning their head. And I bet you Apple pretty much just said, well, we have an app store. There's a lot of games in there. We have connections to a lot of gamers. Let's just sell them a subscription model. We're selling subscription to TV and a subscription to magazine. Let's do a subscription for game as well. You know, I can see where they're coming from, but it's kind of a try hard move.
Well, it's just there's too many. There's too many.
There's too many services.
There's too many services. Now you're gonna have people trying to compete with exclusive Apple products and stuff. Like, I don't know, man. It seems silly to me. I mean, it'll probably work out to some degree, but I think it'll just end up fading away like a lot of these things do.
Either it'll fade away or they will double down and try harder and lose more money. It's gonna be
and then it'll fade away.
Yeah, right. Because I feel Microsoft was kind of that company 20 years ago. Like, nobody expected Microsoft to be a serious. I don't know. I didn't expect Microsoft to be a serious player.
But Microsoft had, you know, they had exclusive games. Like, they had a good library of games. They came out with Halo. They had, you know, essentially Dreamcast 2 games, Panzer Dragoon Orta, Jet Set Future. You know, you had all sorts of stuff on there.
Mm-hmm. Siggy says Nintendo better crank out some mobile games by the time the 2DS dies. You know, between their two games right now, I don't know. It's like I don't pay attention to what Nintendo's mobile division is doing, but it sounds like Fire Emblem Heroes and that other game that I learned about on this podcast.
Dragalia.
What's it called? Dragalia?
Dragalia Lost.
Sounds like those are really pulling in a ton of money, and Pokemon Go, of course. So I'm really curious what's happening with Mario Kart.
Yeah.
That really went quiet. It's like it's happening, and then that's it.
I feel like there may have been some internal division
I think so too.
over that.
Yeah, because you can't really make Mario Kart like to put Mario Kart on cell phones. You have to really dumb it down and take away its soul. So
Maybe.
I mean, you're gonna put your finger behind the cart and you're gonna go left and right. Like, let's be honest. That's what. Or you're gonna hold your phone horizontal and just wiggle your thumbs over the screen.
Yeah,
And maybe then there's segments where like the camera locks behind you and you have to like slide left, slide right to like dodge obstacles and stuff. I can't imagine it being any good.
It could be fun.
No, you.
But it won't replace a traditional Mario Kart experience, but it's also not going to cost what a traditional Mario experience would cost.
Right. Yeah, that's fair. What else happened this week? The Xbox thing isn't even worth talking about. Did you even know Xbox had a direct?
Yeah, but I didn't watch it.
Yeah,
I forgot.
There was like 7 games, and there's one game that actually kind of looked fun. It was called After Party, and the point of the game is you have to outdrink. So you get sent to hell. You and so this dude and a girl get sent to hell, and there's a loophole in the system apparently. And if they can outdrink the devil, they get to go back to Earth.
Okay.
So somehow you like go bar hopping around in hell, and I guess you like just order drinks and stuff and try to outdrink the devil. It's like, yeah, it's more of like a comedy. Like
how long was their presentation, out of curiosity?
About 12, 14 minutes. It was very short.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. One thing that was cool is, so it was an indie showcase, basically. They showcased indie games. And they designed Xbox One X's with the indie, like they were giving away an Xbox One X with the indie games theme, which was really interesting. So, you know, they're pretty much the only hardware company that would do something like that. Like, imagine buying a Switch, but it's Shovel Knight theme. Like, that just doesn't happen.
It might in the future. Nintendo is being more loosey-goosey with their IPs.
They are. They're sprinkling some Zelda now in their indies. So anything could happen. Yeah, Sergeant Crack, Microsoft had a direct, and it looked exactly like an indie direct with 2 hosts and everything. Somebody isn't watching Hey J News on this channel, I see.
That's good. Scold your viewers.
I will scold my viewers. You don't scold yours? You usually yell at yours.
Yeah, but they like it. Battered wife syndrome.
You're terrible. Oh, Borderlands. I didn't talk about Borderlands.
I've never gotten into the series. So
oh, okay. I'm in the same boat as you. That's why I didn't talk about it. So this means nothing to you then?
No, I mean, it's good for Borderlands fans. I'm glad to see that there's a new game. You got Bulletstorm coming to the Switch, which is pretty cool. That was a good game on 360. I think it'll do well on the Switch.
Yeah. Have you seen the trailer for the new Yacht Club game?
Yeah, Ninja Shovel Knight.
Oh my god. It's
Ninja Gaiden with Shinobi, a dash of the Messenger, and Shovel Knight. It looks great, but...
And it sounds great. It has that Shovel Knight music-esque to it.
Makes you wonder if they're a one-trick pony, though.
I don't care. They can be. Like, if you do that like, if you ride that pony, like, properly, I don't care.
Yeah. Genuine pony.
Great I mean, song. You could say Nintendo's a one-trick pony. They're only good at making, like, iconic characters and good games. It's a good trick to have.
It's a little different.
I mean, it's fair. Yeah. You don't see Nintendo doing, like, battle royales or, well, not counting Tetris. You know, you don't see them like
games, not counting Breath of the Wild, 2D Mario games and 3D Mario games. Like, come on, yeah. There's some variety there.
Okay. Yeah,
it's not a love doll. It's Hogan.
What?
Somebody Gintoki asked what was up with the love doll.
Oh. Don't ask questions about his personal life.
I'm surprised you haven't asked me about my revelation that I had last week or this past week.
What revelation?
With a certain game.
Oh yeah, thanks for reminding me. Hey, so if you've been following Class vs. Crass over the last few years, you will all know that Sean has been very vocal about his hate and criticism of Final. It's my turn right now. And Final Fantasy VII being an overrated game and how it's all sucky boo boo pissy time. Well, Mr. Sean is now a Final Fantasy VII fan. Go.
I can't stop playing it, man. It's so good.
How far are you now?
I just I'm on the beach island.
The beach island. Oh, is that when he's in a wheelchair?
No.
Oh,
It's you get on the boat and
there's a boat.
yeah, you stow away on the boat and then you battle Genova on the boat.
Oh right, yeah. That game has so many elements to it. It's so easy to forget parts.
Yeah, I'm there. I also played Power Rangers.
Yeah, but tell me more about Final Fantasy VII. Why is it good now? What changed?
I think I appreciate it more. I think what I said in my video was, I think the reason I didn't like it was because I did not like the setting. Because you got to remember, RPGs at that time, 95% of them, outside of like Earthbound, which I've played that as an adult, and I'm still not a huge fan of Earthbound. They all had a very similar setting. They were all sort of old-timey settings. You know what I'm saying? Like 1800s, 1900s. And that was this type of RPGs I played at that time.
Okay.
And so I think the setting of Final Fantasy VII being modern / futuristic, I think I didn't like that. I think it was just not my cup of tea.
So this whole time it was a great game. You just didn't like the fact that you didn't have a dark magician wearing a robe and a wizard hat.
It could be. I can't. That's the only thing I can think of. And I mean, your palates change as you get older. You know, there are games that I didn't like as a kid that I like as an adult. Games that I liked as a kid that I don't like as an adult. You know what I'm saying?
So what's your stance on Last of Us now?
I always thought Last of Us was a good game. Jason, I played The Last of Us as an adult.
I know. But it fell in there in that Final Fantasy VII category, so I'm just curious.
No, it's still there. It's still Earthbound is still overrated.
So is Final Fantasy VII a great RPG in your opinion?
Yes.
Good. I'm surprised it's cheaper than Final Fantasy IX, honestly.
I was glad it was only like $16.
It's a really good price. I might pick it up too, but I'm really scared to lose. Like that's a 30-hour game easily. And then it's even more if you try to go for all the
Well, the nice thing is it has that speed up feature.
What?
That is fucking amazing.
What?
Dude, yeah. You click it. Someone didn't watch my video. You click in the left stick.
Like so many videos, dude.
I know. You click in the left stick and it times the speed by 3. So when you're walking, speeds it up. When you're in just random battles because you're grinding, speeds it up. It's fucking fantastic.
Oh, that's great. Does it look better or anything?
They used it has HD character models.
But they're still blocky and stuff. It's just the textures are.
Oh yeah. But the textures are very clean. But yeah, like the environments and shit. And there's also a thing, I don't know if this was in the PS1 version. When we played it, we didn't use it. But you can click in I think it's the minus button, and it'll show you where the exits are on the spot you're in. Oh. Because it's kind of hard to figure that out sometimes.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah, Power Rangers, man.
I did watch that video.
That
of
video
you nutting on Goldar.
That video blew up, dude. I was shocked. It's got over 120,000 views on it.
Is anybody else talking about this game?
That was the thing. Like, me and Spawnwave both got it, and I played it for like a couple hours. And Spawnwave was like, "Are you doing a video on it?" I was like, "Yeah, I think so." He was like, "I don't think I'm going to do one on it. Why don't you just go ahead and do one? It seems like no one's talking about it." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And so I went ahead and did it. And yeah, that video blew up. That game is the gameplay is awesome. The gameplay is awesome. Fighting. It's like Marvel vs. Capcom style. Mm-hmm. You have 3 different characters.
I saw it's 3v3.
Yeah, and you swap them out and shit. It's fast. It's frantic. There's cool stuff going on. So very, very good game. Just lacking in content.
It's supposed to be super easy too. Very accessible.
I would say so. I would say, but there's deeper mechanics. Like there's combos and learning to block to block special attacks, because special attacks can really drain your life meter. But yeah, like it's I wish I bought the $20 version that did not have the season pass. I honestly wish I would have bought the $40 version that had the season pass. Oh, Justin Wan helped make it. Oh, that makes sense then.
Yeah, I just saw that. That's crazy. I knew he was promoting it. I didn't realize he helped make it.
I would have preferred to buy the $40 version that has all the season passes, so I get the additional content. Like it's good enough for me to want that extra stuff. So that was kind of the purpose of my video, telling people, yo, if you like what you see, which you probably will if you're a fighting game fan, then go ahead and get the fucking $40 version, because now I'm gonna have to pay a little bit extra to get the extra stuff. But like, yeah, Goldar is in it, dude. Goldar's god tier.
I mean, it really plays to the nostalgia. I was a huge Power Rangers fan, and like the fact that the Green Ranger's there and you can summon the Dragon Zord, and like I saw you like and then there's the Go White Ranger Tiger Power.
Yeah, they better, dude. Fucking White Ranger better be in the season pass.
Isn't he like a villain now, though? I'm so confused with what's going on.
No, I don't know. No, the White Ranger is Tommy, and Tommy's already in the game.
Right, but yeah, well, Tommy isn't he the Lord Dracus or something now? He's like the bad guy.
Yeah, but Dracus is a separate character.
Oh,
yeah.
I like how they have like this cool like Black Ranger, but he's like a soldier now.
Yeah, the Mastodon guy or something. I wanted traditional Zack. Like I feel like in the DLC they need to have Trini, R.I.P., Amy Jo Johnson, and Zack in there.
Right. Yeah, it would have been cool. Would have played more
time.
time.
I mean, there's still time. Maybe Ivan Ooze, Rita.
Ivan Ooze didn't age so well.
Ivan Ooze was
nobody cares about Ivan Ooze.
What was that red fucker's name? Zed?
What? Lord Zed?
Yeah, Lord Zed. Dude, he looks fucking cool.
Yeah, he was cool. Or Rita's brother, Rito.
Yeah.
Gindoki asks if I'm getting the duck game on Switch. Honestly, what is this duck game? Are you talking about the goose game, or is there a duck game?
No, there's a duck game now.
There's a duck game and a goose game. That's very confusing, man. What is this duck game? Is it actually called Duck Game? Is it that one?
Yeah, man.
It looks like a 2D platformer. Arcade. 2D arcade. Shooter.
That's your game, man.
Not the arcade one. Honestly, I have to take a look at what it is. I'd probably get it on Steam because the likelihood of it being cheaper there are very high.
Oh, Steam bastard.
And I also want to test out my new Xbox Elite controller that I have not.
Showing off his true colors.
But what? That I play games on all platforms?
Steam. Steam's not a platform.
It's a platform. It's a PC platform where you can get games for cheap. It's a wonderful land. Have you ever heard about it? And you can craft your badges, and you can actually trade your cards.
Title. You could have gotten good SEO off that, because nobody's.
Well, you should have told me this before. I rushed to put this video up, and I probably picked the worst title possible. Talk Sony, Xbox. Actually, I hit all three, so it's not that bad.
Oh, we need to talk about.
The Switch Pro, and the Switch Mini. That also came out, right?
So Wall Street Journal said that we're getting 2 Switches, a Pro and a Mini, and one's coming out this summer.
There you go. And the Wall Street Journal has been right in the past, but it makes sense. Like, I don't know if the Switch... Well, I don't think the Switch is selling as well as they expected. Like, it's selling well, but I think Nintendo was expecting more with the fact that they are collapsing the 3DS user base and their console user base together. And it's what now, 25 million about the Switch user base?
I'd say it's probably more than that by now.
I think, 2 years into the life cycle, I don't know. I think they're probably, they were expecting higher numbers. We know that. So if the Switch Mini can get more Switch users at a lower entry point, to me, that makes sense. And the Switch Pro, in my opinion, that's just going to be the Switch 2.0. So if they do go this route, I think the Switch Pro is just going to be the next iteration of the Switch, and they're just going to discontinue the Switch that we all have. And it's not going to do anything different. It's just going to be a little bit more souped up. That's all. Going to run a little bit smoother, and maybe run your games in handheld a little bit better. But the Mini makes sense.
Yeah, I think so. But they're going to have to do like non-detachable Joy-Cons, or yeah, they're talking about a foldable screen and stuff. I don't know. It's gonna be cool, and I'll probably end up buying one just to review it because tax write-off.
It will be interesting to see. I can't wait. You know, usually E3, I'm a little bit like, yeah, it's cool. I can't wait till it happens, like new games and
No,
stuff.
it's gonna be good this year, dude.
But yeah, when you have like this year, I'm excited because this year we're going in. Like I can just feel it. There's going to be some big stuff. This year is different. You know, you got Google and Apple doing crazy shit in their own side. You got Sony that's clearly lost, especially after last year. It's like, what the hell is Sony doing? They're sitting on something.
32.27 million as of January. Switches sold.
How many?
32.27.
So past.
Look at you, you're way off.
That number is familiar. I think they just surpassed the N64 or the GameCube.
So. It would have been GameCube.
Mm.
N64 wasn't all that great of a seller.
No.
Especially in Japan. Did you know the Sega Saturn outsold the N64 in Japan?
I didn't know, but I believe it because the Saturn was popular in Japan.
All right, we need to get to the lightning round.
Yeah, but hang on. What were we talking about? E3, yeah. Remember how we would dedicate every Class vs. Crass episode basically between March and June to E3 because that's all we had to talk about back in the Wii U days. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean, you got Nintendo with potential hardware. You've got Microsoft doing crazy shit. You got Sony doing crazy shit. Like, it's very hard to know what's going to happen this year, but you know, it's going to be some new stuff. Okay, you can do the lightning round.
What do you think will come first? Breath of the Wild 2 or Metroid Prime 4? Metroid Prime 4.
Actually, that's a good question because I think Zelda, the next Breath of the Wild 2 has been in development longer than Metroid Prime 4 technically. They would have started the development at the end of 2017. So we're talking about 2 years of Zelda development versus Metroid starting from scratch. But Zelda games take longer to develop though, so...
I mean, how long did Breath of the Wild take? Exactly. Do you think it'd be worth it getting a Switch now or wait for the Pro version? I mean, honestly, you're probably fine getting one now. But if you are sort of on the fence, at least wait for them to announce the Pro version to see what it offers.
If you don't have one now, yeah, wait 3 more months and you're going to have more information to make an informed decision. Unless there's a game you really want to play right now, then just pick it up.
And you might even get a leak before then. Maybe. So you don't have to wait till E3.
That's a square painter painting in the back, right?
Yeah.
I got mine above my screen.
I have another one. I don't know where it is.
I don't think I've ever showed it on this show.
I lose stuff far too often.
Here's mine. I kind of wish I got the Ninja Gaiden one, but it was a huge one that he had at too many games last time. It was way too expensive for what I was looking for.
Plus, well, you drove, so. Question: do you think Link's Awakening HD will be Nintendo's second Switch game powered by Unreal Engine 4? It's an interesting proposition.
It's very...
I mean, maybe. It does have a sort of Yoshi-esque style to it.
Oh, for sure.
So I wouldn't say it's outside the realm of possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Are you picking up the Sega Genesis Mini? Are you crazy? Are you crazy?
Probably. What's the price? They announced the price as well. It's like 80, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually more excited to pick up the Genesis Mini than I am the NES. You know, I don't have the NES Mini or the SNES Classic, but I'm more interested in the Genesis one because I just feel that there's more games that I feel I should have played that I did not play that will be on there.
I mean, you're not wrong. What if this Mini also works as a controller for the Switch and the Switch Pro? That way they can port the other Wii U games to use the Mini as a second controller. Interesting.
That'd be interesting. I could see that happening.
Tagged me in the tweet from Platinum Games. The Platinum Games did their April Fools. Have I played Rico? Yeah, I did. It's not bad, but I don't know. It feels like something is missing from it, if you know what I mean.
Is that the mini game compilation?
No,
Oh.
it's a first-person shooter that has bullet time mechanics. Like, it's a bunch of short missions, and like I think with local co-op, it would be a lot of fun. Playing it by yourself is kind of. There is online co-op as well. It's not bad, but I was kind of hoping that was a little bit more fleshed out in terms of story. And it's not. It's like you play in little segments of like, okay, now you're going to this place to kill these people. Okay, now you're going to this place to kill these people. I will say it looks very nice. The graphics in the game are very pretty and very clean.
Tony, why are you directing just that question, RGT85? How would you feel if Power Rangers the movie comes to the Genesis Mini? That was one of my favorite games growing up. Did you play it?
I only play the Super Nintendo version of that as an adult.
And that was the one I was always drooling after, the Super Nintendo one, because it had the original 5 Power Rangers. But then I don't think they had a Genesis equivalent, so I got the movie one, which was cool because it was basically a beat 'em up, and you got to like fight in the Zords, and it was good stuff.
Did you play the first Power Rangers game?
No.
On the Genesis?
No. I had the movie. That was it.
It was a fighting game.
I just got hit by nostalgia. Like I remember, I got that at Christmas, and I remember like unwrapping it, like holy shit! I just got the Genesis Power Rangers. I was a huge Power Rangers like nerd. I watched that thing every day.
You were a modern samurai.
This was before that. So every Saturday there was a new Power Rangers episode, which I would miss because I had to go to bowling. But during the weekday, I had they would do reruns, and every day I would watch it. I'd come back from school, I'd steal some cookies while my mom wasn't watching, and I'd go watch Power Rangers every day. And it was a huge thing because I was like this quiet kid, and my mother was concerned that I was like gonna be like a violent kid because I was watching Power Rangers, and all the news outlets were saying, don't let your kid watch Power Rangers because they're gonna be violent and they're gonna beat kids up in the schoolyard.
Yeah, they said that about Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
And they said about Mortal Kombat. Yeah,
they say it about everything. And now they're saying it about Fortnite. Kids are going to shoot. Well, that's maybe more of a sensitive thing in the U.S.
No, say it.
Shootings in schools.
I mean, it does happen, unfortunately. It's been. I don't think there's been any this year, though.
Last I checked, there's actually one happening every day in the U.S. That's how often they happen there.
It's not mass murders at schools.
Shootings, mass shootings in schools. They're just not all reported on. I'll share the data with you after.
I don't care.
Yeah, apparently it was bad on SNES. And the great thing about the movie one is for some reason there were segments that had nothing to do with the movie, like the Power Rangers game. You would actually go back into the show. Like I remember there were some monsters that you would fight in the Power Rangers the movie game. But oh, that's right, because there's a whole segment that's dedicated to a flashback. Do you remember that? Did you play it?
Yes, but I don't remember that part.
Yeah, you go through flashbacks for some reason, and you fight like the one, it was like a girl monster with like 3 faces. She has like a red bodysuit and 3 faces. She was from the TV show. And I think that was to add padding to the game, because if they just did on the movie, it would have been too short. Actually, I need to read up on that. There's probably a lot of stuff I'm missing.
I mean, that could be a good video.
Yeah, it could be. You gonna do it? You gonna let me do it?
No.
Okay.
No, you do it. You're the modern samurai J. Final questions, folks.
You feeling the Chipotle kicking in?
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
Why do I ask things I don't want to know?
I don't know what you asked.
What's this? Siggy says, I burnt out a VHS tape I recorded all the shows on. I recorded quite a few as well when I couldn't make it to the Saturday ones, and it was like a hype season or something.
The Sega CD version looked cool, but it was just...
Was there a Sega CD?
Tap a button.
There was a Power Rangers Sega CD game?
Yeah, it was FMV game. And he was just like, it'd be like, tap C. You would tap C, hit left, hit right.
Oh, that's lame.
Yeah.
Not sure if you're asking that to me, Tim, if I have a P.O. box yet. I do not.
I do not yet either. I need to get that set up. I need to get up with my cousin.
We need What's in the Box again. I love that show.
It was a fun show.
It was a fun show. I like the intro.
Supposedly the cartridge flap is just for aesthetic.
What cartridge flap?
On the Genesis Mini.
There's a cartridge. Oh, yeah. So you can pretend to blow in it. Sonic Sega says, I'm alone still watching Rangers regularly all these years. Actually, I think more people are watching Power Rangers now that you can actually watch like all 20 plus seasons on Netflix. I tried to get back into it with my kid. I introduced him to Power Rangers when he was 3. And I have to say, going back and watching Mighty Power Rangers aged very well. I still love it. Watching the new stuff where they started introducing CG into it, can't do it. I don't like it. Like Power Rangers Samurai and all that business.
Oh, I never got. First 2-3 seasons.
Yeah. Once they go to space or turbo, it kind of goes.
Once they started swapping out characters, I was like, I don't know about this.
Yeah. You know why though, eh? You know what the whole reason behind that was?
Yeah, money.
Yeah, basically after I think. Yeah, so Power Rangers was taken off as a phenomenon. So 3 of the Power Rangers came together, the red, yellow, and black actors. And they basically demanded more money to do the film and continue the seasons. And they're just like, we're just going to swap you guys.
Yeah.
And so they did. Oh, Tim was asking us both. So there you go. Neither of us have one right now. I might get one. Actually, I don't know if I'll get one. I don't.
You live in Canada. People won't want to ship to you.
Exactly. And I don't have a game room. This is literally my living room. You're looking at it. People sit on that couch, and this is where I am. So I don't have too much room to store stuff. Isn't Street Fighter on PlayStation?
They were talking about Street Fighter Arcade, the movie, the game.
Oh, that.
It was on Saturn and PlayStation.
Oh. All right. Well, this guy's gonna shit his pants soon. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up here. Thank you everyone for joining us on the Class vs. Grass Gaming Podcast. Things to look forward to this week from Sean are live
Megalog, analog Mega SG review finally, and then I'm way behind with it, but I actually had to buy mine, tax write-off. So I'll have something up about that. And then, I don't know, just whatever sort of comes. Oh, Darksiders. I didn't get a review copy of that. Tax write-off.
3?
That will, I didn't get a Darksiders. I don't know why. I'm picking that up Tuesday. So look for something on that in the near future. And then, just whatever else comes along my way.
Just going to catch this last question quick. Tony asks, do you think Sega should release a 6-button controller for the Genesis Mini during launch release? I think they are in Japan, which is weird.
And I think it's going to work with the retro bits.
So there you go. Over on Hey Jay, you're going to get the usual stuff. On Friday, I dropped a Kingdom Hearts review. Even if you don't like Kingdom Hearts, do check it out and let me know if you like that style of review. If you do, that will be the format going forward on this channel, because I don't really do reviews on this channel yet. But looking forward to expanding upon that. Otherwise, there's going to be Indie Corner tomorrow to look forward to. And there's going to be a new video coming out this week. I don't know of what yet. Either a top 10 list or a review of something if I manage to finish a game. And then Hey Jay News on Saturday. So I'll see you guys then. Until then, keep it classy, or as Sean would say,
keep it classy.
Have a good night, everybody. Have a good night, everybody.
All right, I'm brains out. Stop it. Goodbye.